I thought I would take advantage of a really beautiful winter morning to show you some of the gorgeous countryside we have around here before I head back north, and also experiment with a few video techniques on my phone so that I can get this right and try to look a little bit more professional next year. So I'm going to try a few things. Let's see if this works. No, that doesn't work. Okay, well, it's nice to know. I've worked out how to stitch more than one video together, so I can record in short sections in different places and stick videos together, which is better than having to sit and face the camera for an entire hour. Let me see if I can flip the camera and show you where I am. I'll just put it on pause and see if that works. That of course doesn't work either, as I'm now learning. So we just stop the recording, flip the camera, and I'll just stitch it together afterwards. That's the experiment. And it's better than lots of 3-minute videos kind of thrown together afterwards. I am rambling, I know I am. This I think is really my first kind of day just to enjoy being on my own. And I do love being on my own. Look at that gorgeous sunshine. It's just stunning today after all the rain we've had and how cold it's been the last few weeks. This is the main side road that runs past the village where my parents live. And if you follow it and take the footpath, which is where I'm going, it'll take you out onto the hills. And we're going to go and have a little look at that as well. So I'm going to head that way and show you some sights there. Well, I'd love to live here and be able to do this as often as I need to. But where I live, you can get to green spaces, but they're not even as empty as this main road. And I know it's just after Christmas, so you've not got a lot of people walking around, but what do you hear of the birds? I've just seen a jay, and it's just nice to see nature. Anyway, back in a minute. Before I get to the hills, look at the trees. Isn't that beautiful? It's great the angles you can catch doing this. Look at that. Let's do a bit more. Winter has as much beauty as any other season. You just have to look for it and be warm at the same time, because it's no fun when you're freezing cold, as many of us have been lately. So onwards to the hills in a moment. This is the local churchyard, or part of it anyway. I love graveyards because I'm really into genealogy, and I love the history that goes with it. I want to watch for some sun flare here. You can just see the church in the background there. This is the newer part. They extended. I'll take you to the old part as well. So this is all the old. This is all the old cemetery. We don't have any relatives here because we haven't been here that long. but there are lots of names that you recognise here that are associated with the area. Road names are named after families who've been here for generations. It's not a very well kept cemetery now, but it's still lovely, and it's more like a nature park than anything now. And there's the church peeping through the trees, which is also nice. So we'll go back along the church, and then we'll pick up the track that goes out to the hills. I would imagine the church is all quiet today. They had all their celebrations yesterday, amongst others. It's very pretty here, and they have a good community which keeps the place going. They run children's play groups and all sorts of stuff here now, so it gets well used even if numbers are down during services. And it's a little hub of the community which you don't see very much now. So we're moving around to the front of the church. It looks gorgeous in the sunlight. It's the tower. And then back where we've just come from. Gorgeous tree, skeletal. Follow the track. Excuse the sun glare. I'm not going to apologise for winter sunshine with the weather we've had recently. Just have to bear with it a moment. We're turning against it. This is the track down to the hills. That's the old manor, dated 1637. I think that might have been the original rectory. And then there's farms next to that. Moving further down the lane. This is a more modern building. I don't know, 20s, 30s, 40s, something like that. It's been here a long time anyway. This is part of the local farm. There's your place. Oh, horses are coming. I keep stopping recording because I keep meeting people to chat to. I don't know them, but everyone likes a nice chat round here. Dog walkers, horses. Gosh, we've had a lot of rain here. Oh my goodness, I might regret this. Back in a moment. Back on the lane again. Another dog walker. This is a nice way to spend a morning after lots of Christmas eating. It makes you feel good about it anyway. Even if I've probably only walked off a couple of hundred calories of the zillions that I've eaten in the last few days. But it's just nice to break from the norm, get away from routine. Even though I'm pretty lucky that I'm self-employed, which means that my routine is of my own making. But it doesn't mean that you don't want to escape from things every so often. And for me, I always go by the adage, a change is as good as a rest. And I'd rather have a change of scenery and carry on working as normally than have a week's break or a 2 weeks break where nothing really changes when you get back. So being self-employed was I suppose, almost my permanent holiday. And I get to enjoy things more on a day-to-day basis than just at weekends or just the statutory 5 weeks of holiday a year. And I much prefer that. I can cope better with that than some mundane office job with 5 hours of commuting, which is what I used to do, and is why I turned my back on the rat race eventually, and have been so for, 10 years now. And I can't imagine ever going back to office life. I've tried it part-time a few times during the last 10 years, and every time I'm reminded why I stopped working in offices. I have no time for toxic work environments, working for other people's profit margins, all that sort of thing. It's just not me. But I did it for 17 years, and my God, that's a lot of your life to lose to doing jobs you don't like. So although life is very different now, I don't have the money to do things. I don't have the savings pots or the pensions. But at least for now, I've made the right decision for what I needed, and it enabled me to be more free, which is all you can hope for, really. Look at this view. Stunning countryside we have here, which changes so fast with the seasons. It's just spectacular. And it's so peaceful. You can hear some traffic in the background in the distance, but there's only one road through here, and the rest of the time you can hear crows. Sometimes you'll hear the buzzards, as we have them around here. This is getting back to nature. This is where I'm heading, this dip in the valley here, because there's a beautiful view across the fields, which are now green. I don't know what they're growing here at the moment. This isn't grazing land, this is cropland. So we'll go back to the track here and we'll follow it, and I will see you at the other end. This is an ancient woodland track. I mean, I've been coming here almost too many years now. I mean, I've lived, or my family has been based here for 46 years. So we've been coming here pretty much all this time. See the valley through the trees. Look at these beautiful trees. All green. And that's where we've just come from. This is where it skirts the valley. There's the sun. And on we go. This parish is very old. It appears in Doomsday. But it's always been an agricultural community. And still is to a greater extent. Although the village has expanded enormously over the centuries. These are chalk valleys. We're in North Kent. And as you can see, it's very chalky here. When they plough the fields. And when they plough the fields, you can really see that colour. You can see it here. This is all chalk. We're coming up to the gap now, where you can see the valley. And we'll have a look at that. It's so peaceful here. So we've walked a loop, and I'm now going to walk back up this lane, which will bring us out to where we started today's little video session. And hopefully I will be able to stitch all these little bits of video together into one, however long that is. And this will be a good experiment for me today to see if recording little bits like this and sticking them together actually works. I know this is how most people do it when they're recording a long session and they're, you know, following a day in the life of or something. But I'm very much at the beginning of this learning curve, so look at that. Anyway, we shall continue onwards for a little bit. We're heading up into a field here. I'll try not to fall over in the process. very up and down here. It's quite steep, but very beautiful. And the autumn leaves are still here. You can hear the birds are kicking off in the trees. I should know what they are, but I can't remember. They might be nuthatches. That's about where we came from, down in the valley. This is a good walk to get the cobwebs out. This is the hillside through the woods. We're uphill now. And again, this is beautiful and silent. I'm going to head along this track. This will bring us back out onto the road. These are the tracks that everybody uses around here for mostly dog walking and a lot of post-Christmas meal walks. It's not cold today at all. After all the minus temperatures we've had, we're back up into 10 and 11 degrees, which is kind of bizarre, really. I've heard rumours there's another cold snap on the way, but I haven't seen any evidence of it on my weather app yet. But I know in America and Canada they're having incredibly cold weather and snow. When I think about us complaining about, you know, -6, -7, -8, it's like -16 or -25 in Calgary or something. And you just can't even fathom it, because that's not the sort of weather we get in the UK. It's just absolutely bonkers. But I guess they're more used to it than we are, and they design life around that. But then we get, you know, -8, and we all lose our heads like, oh, it's crazy. This is a weird ending to my previous outdoor video update, because I somehow managed to lose the ending. I don't know if I didn't press record properly or what. So that's one lesson learned. The other lesson is don't record your videos in portrait style, so you're just going to have to put up with that. And next time I will remember to do everything in landscape. So apologies for that. But like I say, this is all a learning curve. And hopefully you at least found some of my ramblings and walking around the local countryside interesting. And we will try again and do better next time. See you soon.